I'd like to open with this. It's a quote from Matthew 5 of the New Testament, otherwise known as the Sermon on the Mount. It says, "Blessed are those who thirst and hunger for righteousness, for they will be filled. Blessed are the merciful, for they will be shown mercy. Blessed are the peacemakers, but they will be called the sons of God. Blessed are those who are persecuted because of righteousness' sake, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven." I like to quote a military man. His name is General Omar Bradley. I think we all know who General Omar Bradley is. The Bradley tank, I believe. "We have grasped the mystery of the atom and rejected the Sermon on the Mount. Ours is a world of nuclear giants and ethical infants. We know more about war than we know about peace. More about killing than we know about living." I'd like to say that my wife and I are definitely devastated by today's verdict. We were under the assumption that it was going to go much better than it did. I obviously now believe that James has been made an example to the rest of the soldiers and to the rest of those who dare think about what James did, that the punishment can be quite severe. And James has now become, as the prosecutor said, a poster boy for anti-war movements. Now he's become an example of the army, of what those who speak out, what will happen to those who speak out. I have my First Amendment rights, and I'm going to continue to speak out, and probably even louder than I had before. But I just hope that it's not going to bring down any more trouble on James. I'm really afraid now at this point that anything we say is going to end up with more problems for my son. I'm driven by a higher moral authority, an authority much higher than the U.S. Army. And it's he who I will answer to, and it's he who my son will answer to, ultimately. And ultimately, those who have sent my son to jail, and those who have decided to make my son an example, they too will be judged. James wasn't trying to bring attention to himself. That was a joke. He wasn't trying to bring attention to himself, and he was not a coward. He was not a coward. They're talking like James was a coward. We came here to plead for leniency and for a little mercy, and we didn't get it. And now we have to pick up our lives and try to go on and hope that his PTSD doesn't get worse. And he's like I said, he's trying to keep our chins up. He's trying to be positive. He's trying to be very positive, because I myself, and I know my wife too, is devastated right at this time. James, I just want you to know that, and he knows this, that we're behind him and we love him dearly. And to many people in this country, James is a hero. And James is a brave, brave man for speaking out what he did. And I hope my son, James, takes solace in that and be strong and remember what you did was right, and what you did was morally right, and you will be judged by a higher judge than the one that judged you today.